I was afraid I couldn't invert all the way. Now you tell me 3 to 5 minutes, but you solved both of those issues with both putting it together, and you don't have to invert the whole way.
I mean, 85% pre-assembled, and she's 77. To put it together when you're 77 years old and a lot.
Yes, 77, she put it together.
That's something. So that tells you how absolutely easy it is. We do have a DVD that walks you through it, just in case you're still a little nervous. That has bonus healthy back classes on it. So you get 5 classes, plus we have an app, so that's free. You can watch videos, you can engage with Roger, you can have little push reminders to say, get on your table.
Exactly. You know. And then as far as the 3 to 5 minutes, this is, now that strap is an upgrade on the infomercial, but that really kind of puts you in control too.
Absolutely. It can, you can preset your maximum angle of inversion, so you never go back further than you want to. It automatically stops you. That's an upgrade that's typically sold separately.
And
it's included.
Mamie lives alone, 77 years old, put the whole shebango together. These oversized handles are, and those are something that help people too to kind of be in control,
Well, they're like training wheels for a bicycle. I mean, you are able to utilize them to walk yourself into inversion and back upright. So if you don't want to use the weight of your arms, because this has precision balancing, you can just use the weight of your arms to control the rotation. But if you want to just walk yourself, have that extra sense of security, then these are here for you. And what's great about them is they do become grip handholds when you're doing stretches. So you might have seen me doing this overstretch. This helps release the back. Now, this is one of my favorite upgrades. These are the traction handles. So we were talking about if you're not sure you want to go to full inversion, you're not sure you want to go back as far, but you want that deep, deep stretch to release those nerves and revitalize those joints, you just push. So this is manual traction. I'm using arm strength to push and lengthen the spine. Because my feet are secure and they're held in place, when I push, you literally just lengthen that spine, you release. And if you're using the lumbar bridge, this is just amplifying that decompression in the lower back. And it's helping to really square those hips, which are the foundation of the spine. And you can feel everything just from that point forward. Realigning. You can feel it moving into place. You can feel it stretching and releasing the tension.
It's amazing. So, Riley, I know your dad is going to be, you said you're snow skiing, right?
Snow skiing. He's ditching me to go snow skiing.
Exactly. So thank you. You know, and honestly, I think, thank you, Riley. She's always just such a font of information. I do love the Teeters, I have to say. I mean, and we love what you and your family do, Roger. And this is why.
Well, this is you inverting. Now, you don't need to go to full inversion, you know, but the first thing you're gonna feel is all those muscles of your back relaxing, stretching, and letting go. And as you relax, you will elongate 1 to 2 inches. You can see the spine straightening out there. It was a little pull to the side with the tight muscles. Also, here's a big deal. You have a pinched nerve, sciatica, take the pressure off. You have a degenerative joint disease, you know, take the pressure off, or an inflamed joint, or if you have a misalignment, which is Riley was talking about, that the Army was experiencing, running, jumping, twisting, turning, and get a little misalignment, but you know, those misalignments aren't a problem until the next morning because they're slow to swell up and debilitate you. But if you hang the same day that it's happening, like if you're gardening, you move wrong and say, that moved, and then just sometime in the near future, get on the teeter and relax and decompress and mobilize your body a little bit. When you decompress it and bring it to at or near zero pressure, it's going to realign itself.
It does.
And that's what the Army found out.
And by the way, so it's going to the source. And boy, I think of shoveling snow this winter. I'll tell you what, my poor brother Chad, I don't know how he's even able to function. I mean, because you're right, you feel that catch, and this
you
goes right to the source. So a couple of things. This is Roger's last show. You will see Riley for a couple of airings tomorrow. It's the longest running fitness item here at HSN. Over 2.5 million sold here at this network. It's an FDA cleared, it's a medical device, a Class 1 medical device. It comes 85% assembled. It is the only one with the UL listing. And listen, we're talking about temporary relief of pain. But even if you take something orally, that is not going to the source.
No,
it's just not.
no, and it takes a half an hour or so. This deals within 3 to 5 minutes.
Right,
and by the way, relief of back pain is just the beginning. You have relief of stress, improving circulation, flexibility.
Posture,
big deal at my age. Correcting posture, looking better in your clothes, stretching and relaxing, and helping you keep your original body shape. We're going to show you an aging spine thing to remind you what gravity's doing to you.
That's the big one.
Well, this figure's not gaining any weight, but he sure is changing body shape, losing height. And when you lose height, because you're the same mass, you bulge out in the center. That's a compression wrinkle, you know, that middle-age spread. But now he's lost his figure. Now that's a big deal. But the bigger deal is the fact that that height loss is in the soft tissue of the joints. Look at the disc size on the older gentleman.
I know.
He simply doesn't have the ability. The discs don't have the mobility to give him the freedom of movement to keep up with the grandkids, to do the gardening, to have a life, do the things he wants to do.
To have a life. And boy, you nailed it. And what's interesting is, and remember, you are Roger and Riley's currency. Keep those testimonials coming. If you have a success story to share, we want to hear from you. Last show with Roger, Class 1 medical device, maxed out the flex pay, and it's amazing.
Right, and I really mean 85% assembled. I'm going to take it apart and put it together in less than a minute, and I'll show you how it comes out of the box.
Sounds good.
With a little help from Shannon.
Absolutely.
This is fully assembled out of the box, all those small pieces.
This comes in one piece, and if I remember correctly, you and your team did this as a request from customers, correct? Like
well, as your customers. You know, that was the...
You're the boss of him, folks.
People said, you know, it's... 4.8 consistently out of 5, but people say, I wish it was, you know, more comfortable, you know, and so we made these improvements. But all right, the bed fully assembled. There is 2 bolts related to packing, which are kind of a no-brainer. You want to hold that?
I certainly
can. You do put the hinges in. Now the A-frame.
Those are also an upgrade, by the way.
Yes, fully assembled. In the sense the spreader arms on, all 4 feet are on. The preset angle strap is on. The only thing you really have to assemble are these 2 handles. There's 3 machine screws and 1 bolt for each one. You literally will spend more time getting it out of the box.
That's actually no joke. That's actually no joke.
There, it snaps together. See, that actually snapped together.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this comes as one piece.
Right, this is all one piece.
Right. Slides right in there.
Right, you set it, it's adjustable 4'8" to 6'6", 300-pound capacity. 3 to 5 minutes.
Micro adjustments, just like in the doctor's office.
Yeah, look at this. Click, 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 click. I don't have to bend over.
No.
Really large, ergonomically shaped pads, pressure pads for your ankles, and they have a firm outside for structural integrity and safety, and then 3/4 of an inch of foam that is shaped to your ankles.
It is, and remember, only for the show, and it does also fold up if you are cramped for space, right?
Yeah, actually, we'll just do it quick here.
See, I just egg him on, and then he does.
No, this, if you're short on space, you know, this feels just... There we are.
There you go.
Behind a couch, in a closet, springs into action.
We've got a lot of information to get through. We have only about 15, 20 minutes left in this show. Of course, we would love to hear from you. If you have an inversion success story to share, I know you probably feel like you're going to be a crusader. Whether you're like Joyce, she's had her table over 20 years. She said it still works great. Now, she is getting tempting to upgrade, and a lot of people are upgrading to the new tables, so consider that. But you've got some, Nancy and Jim, that's a great little testimonial.
Yes, right. In fact, let's hear from Nancy and Jim, because that, and you know, it's almost an emotional experience for so many people, as you'll see when you read the .com reviews, but let's hear what they have to say.
My back started to really bother me. I don't want to go through life being less and less of myself. I want to be able to do everything and anything that I want to do. The first time that I laid on the teeter, I got on there, locked my ankles in, laid back, and it was just a relief. I knew it was going to work for me. It's beautifully engineered. It doesn't take up very much space in your house. It's very easy to schedule it into your life. You lay down, you relax, you can meditate for a few minutes, you get off, and you're a new person. The biggest difference the teeter table has made in my life is that I have physical freedom. I'm probably really boring because when anyone complains to me about their back, I say, well, have you tried a teeter table? It helped me so much you have no idea.
Pain was part of my life, and not doing the things I love became part of my life. My daughter stopped asking me to do anything anymore with her because it's always my back, my back. The teeter comes along, and it's like the light bulb goes off in my brain. I felt my body completely stretch out. Life is great again because I can live it, because I can participate in it. Now that the teeter's here, Jim is back! Jim is back, and they cannot stop me.
I think he's so cute. It's the way you feel. You get off the thing and you feel so energetic, you know, and relieved, and you feel like jumping.
You do, but you know what? Let's be honest. You wouldn't be inverting. Now, you can go to full inversion, 3 to 5 minutes. You don't have to invert the whole way. But for something that you're hanging on, you want to make sure it's made well. You don't want to. Because there are people who copy how you look, but nobody can copy the way you've made this machine.
Well, you know, my background is in aircraft, and we've been educated. I've been educated on how to engineer out fatigue failure. And that is the biggest single problem with an inversion table, because you're cycling. So many people like to go 30, 40 times. Right? This is so relaxing.
It is.
I think one of the women that called in earlier were talking about how relaxing it is to just rock back and forth. In fact, it's fun. Well, when you go like this, these little arms are loaded towards your head. When you come up, they're loaded towards your feet. That constant working back and forth can generate a fatigue failure.
Right.
Same thing as if you take a coat hanger, bend it back and forth, you can break it in 1 minute. That is ordinary steel, and that's all that any other table uses. We use high carbon steels, heat treated, and key components to engineer out fatigue resistance. And in fact, we've got some testing that I want to show that for UL was very conscious of this fatigue failure thing. And so what they did was require us to test 30,000 cycles on every moving component. There's a locking mechanism, 30,000 cycles. There's 1,200 pounds, folks.
Wow.
4 times maximum user weight. There's your 300 pounds being cycled 30,000 times.
Wow.
And Teeter's, and the only brand that actually can pass that test, because we use the engineered high quality, high carbon, heat treated steels. And I want to show you that cycle test. We got a bar chart that shows the actual results.
Okay.
See that vertical line on the right with the writing?
Yeah.
That's what UL said. That's the target you have to go to be safe. 30,000 cycles.
Right.
That blue line on top, that's us. We went 40,000 cycles, no failure.
None.
I did sit-ups, Shannon, on that table after 40,000 cycles, totally structurally sound. But look at the lookalikes, and they do look alike.
And they look alike.
Catastrophic failure. We're talking about broken, bent, and torn metal at roughly 11% of spec value. That's what ordinary steel does. I mean, don't even think about hanging upside down on a lookalike that doesn't meet safety standards set by independent safety engineers.
Absolutely. He's the only table that has that. Joyce would not be using hers after 20
years. No.
Andrew has been using his. He's been inverting for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, you don't drive your car for 20 years, for crying out loud. So the whole idea is this is not like any other inversion table. And we say not only longest running fitness item, this is the last show with Roger. Riley is going to be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's the same table used in doctor's offices. It is the only one that is UL listed and tested. And not only that, we've maxed out your flex pay, 85% assembled. You feel results. It's going to the source of that pain in as little as 3 to 5 minutes. People have a hard time believing you ever had a bad back, but you also have a doctor who kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
That was, actually, he did put me back together from a car accident. That's how I met him. But Dr. Tons is also a nationally known orthopedic surgeon. He's a senior orthopedic surgeon at Trauma One Center in San Diego. And he bought 2 inversion tables, one he used personally and one he gave to his son, who's a spinal surgeon, by the way. But that table has been a great blessing to him, and he gave this testimony. And I want you to really listen to 2 things in particular, which I'm going to test you on after you hear the testimony.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1.5". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day too and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives, we don't start breaking down later on.
All right, 2 points. It's a maintenance program. Doing it on a regular basis gives you the best results, the most supple joints. And also, these discs, in changing moisture content, change your height. They also change the size of the opening that the nerves come through. So when you have a thin disc, you have a pinched nerve, that sciatica, take the pressure off. I mean, it's so straightforward, such common sense.
It is. We are off to the phones. You are live here at HSN. It's Shannon and Roger. Thank you for holding. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hi there.
Robert Dees.
Well, hi there, Robert. And where are you calling from?
New Orleans.
Oh, from New Orleans. I like that. Robert, what is your inversion story?
Well, I just ordered it just today, and I'm looking forward to using it once it comes in. All the things that Mr. Teeter has been saying about it, what actually allowed him to come up with the idea, the sciatic nerve, the pinched nerve, the degenerative disc, herniated.
Yeah.
Well, I have some of those problems, and I'm looking forward to using the inversion table to help, if not eliminate, to minimize.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to using the inversion table.
Robert, I think you sound like a lot of us. I mean, when you think about getting your life back, Robert, you think about, boy, if I could just have a day with that temporary relief of pain, it does kind of make you sit up and take notice, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's just about, at the end of the day, it's all about quality of life.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amen.
You know, I'm 81 this year, and being able to keep up with the grandkids, I mean, that is absolutely precious. Talk about quality of life. That's a huge,
it is.
Just to be able to do that,
Robert,
to be active.
we can't thank you enough. First of all, congratulations. And when Roger is back, we'd love it if you would let us know how well you're feeling out there in Louisiana, okay?
Yeah, please call back.
I sure will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert. Take good care. We're going to head right back to the phones in a moment, but you said your age so quiet, people didn't even hear you. You got to say it again.
I passed the big 8-0 last year.
I know
so
you did.
Yeah, I know. And so far, the 80s have been great. It's a great decade.
All right, we're going to head right back to the phones. Thank you for holding. You're live here at HSN. It's Shannon and Roger. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, ma'am. This is Robert also, and I'm calling from Florida.
Well, Robert in Florida.
Robert.
I like it. So, boy, I tell you what, Roberts are smart tonight. Well, Robert from Florida, are you joining the party for the first time, or do you already have an inversion story?
I've got an inversion story, and I'd like to share it because it's such a great piece of equipment. I used to go to a pain clinic. I went to chiropractors. I eliminated both of them after I got the Teeter, and first time I got on it, I could feel the relief already.
Yes.
And I use it as a maintenance program, just like Roger said.
Yep.
And I use it I try to use it at least 5 minutes a day, and it just takes all the pain completely away, and it's a great item, and I try to tell everybody about it, you know, that it does have a back problem. And it just does such a great job.
Yeah. Robert, how long have you been using your table then?
Almost a year.
Wow.
Almost a year.
Wow.
So it's outstanding.
You know, Robert, one of the things that you said that I just love so much, in addition to everything, is you tell everybody about it. And boy, when you can have that temporary relief of pain, it's like you just want everybody to feel so good, right?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely, because it just does such a good job. I mean, I was so happy when first time I got on it, I could feel the difference, and it's really great.
Wow. Well, Robert, and like I said, all the Roberts agree, apparently. We send you all of our love here in Florida. Robert, thanks for sharing the good word.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Robert. Take good care. Boy, I love it. All the Roberts agree, whether they're calling from New Orleans or from Florida. What I think is interesting, well, Robert from New Orleans, he got his tonight. Maybe you've seen Roger, and I think that's a lot of people. They see Roger or Riley, and they watch. And then for whatever reason, the only thing that you have to live with is the pain by not choosing it. You heard our Robert right here in Florida. He said he's been using it about a year, and he said he tells everybody about it. In fact, what's interesting about this table, and remember, not all tables are created alike, we probably sell more inversion tables when Roger and Riley aren't here as we do when we're on the air. And it's because it's really kind of this crusade for anyone who lives with pain. This is temporary. It is going to the source, whether you're taking something orally or not. You know, that takes 30, 40 minutes. That's temporary as well. This is going to the source. And actually, Robert, who's been using it a year, Joyce, who's been using it for 20 years, Mamie, who's been using it for a long time as well, every single one of them said, you know, like 5 minutes. And it's helping every single day. And then you have to do it less and less. In as little as 3 to 5 minutes, you don't have to fully invert. We have the last 4 minutes of the show. Thank you so much to all of our inversion crusaders out there. Before we run out of time, remember we have maxed out not only the flex pay, you're getting the reduced shipping, you're getting it only here at HSN. Roger, I know Riley was asking me about the progressive inversion.
Yes.
What's that now?
That's extremely important, because you may be targeting a specific problem in the lumbar or in the neck, you know, but like a herniated disc or a sciatica. But even and though you're targeting that, every weight bearing in your joint in your body is being benefited, because it's all being decompressed, and they're being decompressed. This is the important point. They're all being decompressed by exactly the same weight that they have to carry. So the discs in the lumbar area are being decompressed by 60% of your body weight, because that's the typical amount of weight that's above the lumbar. Or if it's a neck problem, the neck discs are being decompressed by just the weight of the head. So it's progressive decompression, which there's no other way to do that except clamp your ankles and hang upside down. By the way, you know, you can use the traction handles, put the preset tether strap on, and stay at this angle and fully decompress the body as though you were in full inversion. But that takes a little work. I think when you get used to it, you'll find that you can go to this angle, grab this bump here that allows you something to pull and push and pull yourself into shape. Full inversion, you don't need to go here, but you have so much more flexibility to do stretching, and you'll be as comfortable upside down as you are at your desk once your body gets used to inversion.
Yeah. And you know what? Once you try, you're going to wonder, why did you wait so long?
That's right.
You really will. I know I've got to make a studio run. I've got some home solutions, but you haven't done your leap.
Well, that's the way you're going to feel when you get off. Even if you don't jump, you're going to feel like you can, and you're going to say, bring on those grandkids.
Exactly. So here's the thing. This is Roger's last show. You will see Riley tomorrow at 1, but what are you waiting for? The only thing you really have to give up is the pain. And I think, Roger, that's the big thing that we keep hearing from all those great calls. By the way, thank you to, you know, our Roberts out there, and Joyce and Mamie. They all had different situations, but every single one of them is living with less pain and getting their life back.
Yeah, and some of them living alone. They put their table together with, what, 77 years old and put it together herself.
I know.
You know, that's, you know, that is my pay. You know, I can go home feeling absolutely fantastic because of those phone calls. In fact, many phone calls and the testimonies on .com.
Absolutely. All right. Well, be safe skiing, mister. Gonna give me one more leap, you little lucky leprechaun, you.
Yay.
All right. Thank you, Roger. You're going to be feeling lucky, Riley. Thank you as always. Look for her with the final airings of the inversion table. Be safe on those slopes, my friend. But here's what Horace has to see. I'll see you next door.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.